Did we discuss about the proc copy? Did we done with the proc delete? We have completed proc contents. We have completed proc options. We have completed proc transpose. We have completed proc sort. We have completed proc append. We have completed proc export, proc import. Then we have completed proc compare. Proc segnet. PWN code. Proc rank for proc format, proc data sets are left, right? So we have to discuss about these three concepts. Everybody, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In today's class, we'll discuss about I think we haven't discussed about the proc import. In today's class, we'll discuss about proc import and proc format. Sorry, proc import and proc rank. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll discuss about the proc rank. Sorry, proc format, and after that, we'll discuss about proc datasets. From Monday onwards, we will discuss about the reporting procedures. Okay. Do you know how to use the proc import procedure? Why is the proc import procedure? Proc import is useful to import Excel datasets. We used to import Excel sheets and CSV. We used to import Excel sheets, CSV files, MS Access files, and text files. Text files. We use a proc import. We use a proc import procedure. So to import Excel sheets, CSV files, MS Access files, and text files, we use the proc import procedure. Remember, on the other day, when we use the proc export procedure, I have exported datasets as Excel sheets, CSV files, Notepad files, and other files on my desktop in the new folder. Sorry, in the new folder. Here we have four more folders, like an Access folder. We have an CSV folder. In the CSV folder, we have few CSV files, and here we have an Excel folder. There we have a few Excel sheets, and here we have a text file. In the text file folder, we have few text files. What I want to do now, I want to import all these files into SAS as datasets. First of all, I want to import Excel sheets. Okay. Now here I have an Excel sheet called countries. I want to import this one. Do you know how to import? What's the procedure we should write to import? Can somebody tell me what is the procedure that we can write to import any file?
Proc import data.
Proc import data file is equal to
File is equals to
path of that Excel sheet. Path of that Excel sheet. Now I'm going to copy the path, shift right click, copy as path. Now go to the program and import it. And we'll do one thing. First of all, I want to import an XLS file. So here, right click, properties. It is XLS file. I want to import baseball. Now shift right click, copy as path. Now go to the program and paste the path. In the same program, what we should write now? We should write out is equal to data set name. I want to have a baseball only. I'm writing out is equal to baseball. Then DBMS is equal to, we should write XLS. If you have already baseball in the work library, if you want to overwrite that one, what is the option you should write? We should write the replace option, semicolon run. Now, if I select the program, execute the program, now in the work library, I am going to have a baseball data set. And here we have the data. I told you in the baseball Excel sheet, whatever the first row that we have, the first row will come as a variable name. So, you know why? Because by default, we are going to have a statement called get names is equal to yes. And since get names is equal to yes, so by default, what we are going to have now, we are going to have a data row is equal to 2. So that means you will get the data from the second row onwards. Now, out is equal to baseball. If I execute this program, yes, I'm going to have the data set called baseball. If I want to have only name and team, I do not want to have other variables. So then what we can write out is equal to baseball. Now within the parentheses, now we can use keep is equal to, now whatever the name you want to have, we can write it. Whatever the variables you want to have, we can write it. Now if I specify keep name and team, now yes, I'm going to have only 2 variables. So we can use the keep, drop, rename, where option in the proc import as well, so that you can filter the data. Whatever the variable that you want to have, you can keep it. Whatever the observation that you want to have, by writing a where option, you can select the data. Understand this one? Now, here I have one more file called, countries. If I click on give the right click and properties, can you say what is this countries file? It is an XLSX file. XLSX file. If it is an XLSX file, how to import it? Now shift right click, copy as path. Now go to the program. Now you can write like this one. Now I'm writing, proc import data file is equal to now path of the XLSX file. In the same program, now what we should write? Now we should out is equal to data set name. I want to have, for example, countries. Then I'm writing DBMS is equal to XLSX. If you want, you can write the replace option. Now semicolon. Now write the run statement. Now select the program and execute it. Now we are going to have countries data set. So if you have an XLSX file, you should have DBMS is equal to XLSX. Understand this one?
Sir, what is the difference between XLS and XLSX?
Both are same. XLS is like, if the file format is, below 2003.
Okay. Okay.
If the version is less than 2003, it is XLS file. If it is an advanced than 2003, it will be XLSX.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now, here on my desktop, here I have an Excel book called All DS. In this book, I have multiple sheets. Can you see here? Here we have the cars, shoes, snacks, gas, and fish. Now I want to import this one. If you want to import this one, I'm going to get the path, shift right click, copy as path, now go to the program, Now I am writing proc import data file is equal to now path of that Excel book. Now in the same, I am writing out is equal to data set name. Out is equal to I am writing say for example demo. DBMS is equal to XLS, and I'm writing replace option semicolon run. If you carefully observe in this Excel book, we have I think 4 Excel sheets in this one book. But if I execute this program, you know which one you are going to get? By default, we are going to get the first sheet of that book. Do you know what was the first sheet there? We have first sheet cars. So by default, you get the cars. But you know, in that book, did you see here? We have 4 sheets in this. You got by default, we are getting only the first sheet. But I want to have specifically snacks. If you want to have this sheet as a data set, you know what we should do? Now we should go to the program, and now we should write one more statement now. You know what we should write? Should write a sheet is equal to, you should write snacks. Now select the program and execute the program. Now specifically, which data set we are going to, which file or which sheet we are going to get now? We are going to get only the snacks. Can you see? So when we have a multiple sheets, by default, you are going to have only the first sheet. But if you want to have a specific sheet, what is the statement you should write? Sheet is equal to the sheet name. Understand this one? Now.
So can we write
go
2 sheets?
No, you cannot do that one. You can write only one.
Okay. If you want another one, should we mention sheet again?
We'll see that one in a minute.
Okay.
Now here, I have a hot, this is a hot Excel sheet. You know that hot Excel sheet contains 16 variables and 5,209 observations. But you know what I want to do? I do not want to have all that information. I want to have only this information. I want to have only this part, which means what I want to do, I want to have from E column 12th row, and I want to have J column 26th row, E12 to J26. Remember, E12 to J26. If you want to have a part of the Excel sheet, now what we should do? Now, first of all, I'm getting the path of this one, shift right click, copy as path. Now I'll go to the program. Now I'm writing a program like this one. I'm writing proc import. Data file is equal to path of that Excel book, Excel sheet. Now in the same statement, now what we should write? Out is equal to, I want to have it as an DS. Now DBMS is equal to XLS. If you want to connect the replace option, semicolon. Now you should write, you should write a new statement. You know what is the sheet this one? Do you know that one? What is the sheet this one? The sheet name is hot. Now go to the program. Now within the quotations, you should write hot $symbol, and you should write, I want to have it from maybe from the D10 colon, I want to have a J26. Now we should write this one. This is not really, what is that? Anybody knows what it is? I forgot. Yes. Range is equal to. I am writing, hot $symbol D10 to J26. Now, if I execute this program, now can you see I'm getting only from the D10 to J26 column. So if you want to select only the part of an Excel sheet, we are going to write a statement called range is equal to sheet name, dollar symbol, starting column and row hyphen, ending column and row. Understand this one? So this is how we are going to select only smart part. And now here I have Excel book called DS. And if I give a right click on properties, can you see what type of file it is? XLSX.
LSX.
Okay. If I open this DS, now can you see how many sheets that we have in this book? Can you see how many sheets we have? Rent,
3 sheets.
lake,
Lake
and
class.
I want to import all the 3 sheets in one go. Each one I want to have one data set. Now, if it is XLSX, this will not work for Excel sheets, not XLS. It will work for only for XLSX. Now, what we can do, now we can create a library for this one. How to create a library? Now, first of all, I'm going to get the path of this one, shift right click, copy as path. Now I'll write a program like this one. I'm creating a library called libname. I want to have a library name called raw. Then I'm writing, so for example, Excel SX, and then I'm going to give the path of my Excel book. Now, if I execute this program, now it is going to create a library called raw, and this library is different from the normal library. Now, if I open this library, can you see what we can see? We can see each sheet as one data set. But these data sets are not ready for usage. If you want to use these data sets, what you should do? Now, you should write like this one, proc copy. In is equal to raw library, out is equal to work library, keep a semicolon. Now write the run statement. Now select the program and execute it. Now what and all the data sets that we have in this raw library, now all the data sets will be get copied into work library. Now these are now useful. You can use this one. Somebody asked me, can we import 2 sheets at the same time? We cannot do that by using a proc import. But if it is an XLSX file, by creating a library, by writing engine name called XLS, we can create a library for Excel book. Now, by using that one in proc copy procedure, now we can copy that whatever the sheets, each sheet is going to get copied as one data set into work library. Now we can use those data sets for further purpose. Understand this one? Clear, everybody?
Sir, why we mentioned XLSX before the path?
This is an engine name. You should write it. Generally, how we create a library, for what purpose and for what you create a library, we always create a library to a folder which contains the data sets.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But
Yes,
here we are creating a library for Excel book. If you want to create a library for Excel book, you should Excel engine name. The engine name for Excel sheets is XLSX in this scenario. And you should write the same thing. Now, I want to import some CSV files. On my desktop, now I have a CSV folder here. In the CSV folder, I have 2 CSV files. I want to import Africa CSV file. You know that I have to write shift right click, copy as path. Now go to the program. Now tell me how to import a CSV file. You know that you should write proc import. Then I'm writing data file is equal to path of that one. Then in the same statement, I'm writing out is equal to data set name. Out is equal to, I'm writing, so for example, I want to have it as Africa only. Now I'm writing, so for example, Africa. And then DBMS is equal to CSV. If you want, you can write the replace option, semicolon. Now write the run statement. Now select the program and execute it. Now we are going to have Africa data set in the work library. Understand this one? In the same way, here I have an MS access folder. In the access folder, I have an access book called, here we have an access file called help. From that, I want to import it. First of all, if you want to import, you should understand what and all the tables that we have in this help book. If you want to understand that one, first of all, see, I will go to MS Access folder and I look for like what and all the tables that we have there. Now here we have MS Access. Now I'll go over here. I'll go to open, then browse. It is present on my desktop. I'll go to the desktop. On my desktop, I have a new folder. In that, I have an access folder. In that, I have a help. I'm trying to open that one. In that we have two, what you call tables. One is Asia and another one is shoes. I want to import this Asia. Remember, Asia. Now, I'll go over here. First of all, I'll get the path of this one. Shift right click. Copy as path. Now, I'm writing like this one. I'm writing Proc Import. Table is equal to what is the table that you want to import? I want to import the Asia table. Then you should write out is equal to dataset name. Out is equal to I want to have it as an Asia only. Then DBMS is equal to you should access. And if you have already Asia dataset, write the replace option. And then now give the path by writing database is equal to the path. Keep a semicolon. Now write the run statement. Now select the program and execute the program. Now in a minute, can you see we have Asia dataset? Here we have Asia dataset here. And yes, we got the data. And this is how we import MS Access file as a dataset. Now, I want to import a text file. How to import a text file now? So here on my desktop, again, in this folder, I have a folder called text files. In the text files, I have 3 text files. So this is the first text file. Generally, when we have a data in a text file, how we create a dataset? When we have a data in a text file, how we create a dataset?
By using data set.
By using a data statement, in file and input statement. But if the data is in aligned manner, if you have variable names, we can also use a proc import procedure. Now I want to import this as a data set by using a proc import procedure. I'm copying the path now. Go to the program. Now how to import it. Now if you want to import, you should proc import. Then data file is equal to the path of the text file. And then you should write out is equal data set name. I want to have it as in a class. I'm writing class. Then DBMS is equal, what we should write the DBMS is equal to? Anybody?
.txt.
DBMS is equal to write the
Database
DB,
management system.
and then replace semicolon. You should write the run statement. Now select the program and execute the program. Or can you say we have a class data set and we got the data? Can somebody tell me if the file is like this one? I want to use a data step. How we can create a data set by using a data step from this data?
Dataset name, in file.
Okay. So I'm getting the path again. Data set name. I want to have it as a class 1. In file, path of the text file.
Path of the text file.
Then input.
Variable names.
Sex is
height, weight.
Wait, semicolon,
Run.
Are we going to get the data? Pardon? Are we going to get the data? Anybody? Any suggestions?
Data will get with 2 times variable name, sir.
Then what should I do? When you're writing a data step, you should write the variable names in the input statement, but in the data also have a variable name. So what should I do? Somebody said we'll get the variable names 2 times. So my variable name age is a numerical variable. Am I going to get the age?
Sir, get names is equal to no.
Get names is equal to. But is it a proc import procedure? To write get names is equal to no. Where we can write get names is equal to no. We write it get names is equal to no in proc import procedure.
Sir, first OBS.
Tell me how to write first OBS now.
Two.
First OBS is equal to 2. Okay, I'm writing first OBS is equal to 2. Now I'm selecting the program and executing it. Yes, I have a class 1 data set. Now tell me what is the problem that I have? Generally, when you're writing a data step, okay, and when you're writing a data step, SAS things between the variables, so you can have any number of spaces. But here it is not a space. What is this?
Tab.
This is tab space. When we have a tab space, say for example, if you have a comma between two values, what you will do?
Delimiter.
DSD.
You should write the DLM is equal to or DSD, right? You will write DSD or DLM.
DLM.
Now, what we should do when we have a tab space? If we have a tab space, now we should write a DLM is equal to, now within the quotations is 09, and then you should write X. So this is the delimiter for like tab space files, tab files. Now select the program and execute it. Now we are going to have a class 1, and yes, we got the data. So when we have a data in text file, if we have a tab space, we can do that one by using a proc import procedure or maybe for data step. Understand this one? Now here, this is my text file. What should I do? I do not have a tab space. Then what I have?
Commas.
Comma as a delimiter. You can DSD or DLM is equal to?
DLM is equals to within the quotations, comma.
Quotations, comma. But I want to create data from this one by importing this file. Proc import. Can we read the proc import for this one? Now I want to use a proc import procedure. Shift right click, copy as path. Now I'll write a proc import procedure. Now I'm writing proc import. Data file is equal to now path of the text file. Then out is equal to data set name. I want to have it as in a class 2. DBMS is equal to TAB. If you want, you can do the replace option. But you have a comma as a delimiter, right? If you have a comma as a delimiter, now we are going to write a new statement called delimiter is equal to, now within the quotations, comma. Now you should write the run statement. Now select that entire program and execute it. Now we are going to have, class 2 data set. In the class data set, yes, we have the data. So that means that when we have a variable names and when we have a comma as a delimiter, if you want to import that data, we can do that one by using a data step or also by proc import. But if you want to write a proc import, we should write a separate statement called delimiter is equal to, now within the quotations, you should write whatever the delimiter you have, you should write that one. But if you want to import, we can also import the same file by writing a data step also. If you want to do this one by using a data step, what we should do? Tell me what we should do. Now data, I want to create a class 3 in file, path of the text file, and the same statement. Now we should write DLM is equal to within the quotations comma, and what we should write now, first obs is equal to 2 because I do not want to have variable names, because anyway I am going to the variable names input. I want to have a name variable, character variable, sex variable, character variable, age variable. Then I want to have a height variable. Then I want to have a weight variable. Now keep a semicolon. Now write the run statement. Now select this entire program and execute this program. Now we are going to have a class 3, and yes, we have the data. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
This is how we can import a text file, or we can write a data step to create a data set from a text file. Now tell me, if this is the text file, how to write a proc import processor? Yes, you can write a proc import processor, but you should write a delimiter is equal to within the quotations. What should I write?
Asterisk symbol.
Hashtag.
As a delimiter.
Hashtag. So we can do this one again by using a data step also. In that scenario, what we should write? DLM is equal to within the quotations asterisk. First OBS is equal to 2.
2.
So that this data will be get imported as a data set. And this is how we import Excel sheets. Either it's an XLS or XLSX. If with XLSX, we have another advantage that we can create a library to that Excel book, and we can import MS Access files, and we can import CSV files, and we can also import text files. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. This is about proc import procedure. And we have 3 more procedures in the utilities: proc rank, proc format, and proc datasets. Okay. And we'll discuss that one today, tomorrow, Friday, and we'll discuss about that on Saturday. With the Saturday, we are going to finish it up all the utility procedures. From Monday onwards, we'll discuss about reporting procedures. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to stop this one here for today. We'll start class at 8 o'clock for the project. Okay. See you at 8 o'clock.
Sir, please send the code in the chat box. Sir, the
Hello? Hello? Vanita?